What's up everybody, Catalyst Gaming here, bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be going over Lua, doing a little champion spotlight on her, and a little bit of a guide, but not an in-depth guide today, just want to do a little showcase, to let you know if you pull her, she is definitely worth gearing out and getting up there to your 6-star and 6-star ascension. So, let's get into it. You'll have to forgive me today guys, I burned my tongue over the weekend, and so my tongue still hurts a lot to talk, so some of my words may be coming out a little bit jumbled, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But let's go ahead and get into this Lua champion spotlight. As you can see here, I don't have the best gear for her, and my masteries are not fully done here. But with what I have on her already, and how strong she is, and the compositions I use her for, she still hits like a 18-wheeler. She hits like a semi-truck. You're mostly going to be wanting to use her in the arena. She's very good in some dungeons, and she's got a really good campaign clear, but her main focus is going to be in the arena. So once I show you kind of what the gear I use for her, what stats you're going to be wanting to focus, then I'll show some of her gameplay in the arena. So let me show you how I build my Lua. I like to build her with Relentless gear because the more turns you do, just the more damage you're going to be outputting. And the more turns you do, the quicker your cooldowns are going to be on your skills, so you'll be able to get your skills popping off even quicker. As you can see, my gear isn't the best right now. You're going to want to focus crit damage on her with 100% crit rate, so I have 1% too much crit rate. You want to focus more crit damage and try to get up to at least, probably I would say this in the hundreds. And that's when she's really going to be doing a ton of damage to the enemies. Kind of show you what I have on her right now. I got resistance and some crit damage there. If this had rolled better with the upgrades, just all on the crit damage, we would have been happier. But the attack percentage here is also a really good stat to have rolled on. Crit rate, defense percentage. Anything with percentage-based stat is always going to be really good. Crit rate. Accuracy is okay on this champion, but really you could do without accuracy on her just because she doesn't have any debuffs you're going to be applying. Crit rate. If I had my preference, I would change these out for defense gloves with crit rate and crit damage stats with also speed in here, but you can't get what you want sometimes. Obviously here you would want a defense percent, but I don't have that good of gear yet. I'm still grinding, so we're stuck with the attack here. HP, attack percent, and accuracy. This obviously is a really bad piece for Lua, but it's the best piece I have right now for this slot. Then we'll go into here. Now defense percentage like you want, crit rate like you want, but these two stats here we could do better. But this is what we have right now on the champion. You're going to want to focus, like I said, her crit damage and her defense, so that way she's got survivability and deals a ton of damage. For masteries, I'll put it up on the screen here, what you would want, or actually, it'd be over on this side. I'll put it up here, so you can see, right, wait, there we go. It'll be up in this area, so you can see what masteries you'll be using for Lua. As you can see, my masteries are not fully done yet. I'm doing the Minotaur grind right now as we speak. Well, not at this very moment, but overnight I'm going to have it set up to do the mastery grind, so that way in the morning I can have her masteries all booked up. So let's go over her skills real quick, and then we'll show some gameplay. So her A1 here, Splinter Arrow, it attacks one enemy and deals 50% of the inflicted damage to all enemies if this attack is critical. Now, when it says deals 50% of the inflicted damage, it does not put that 50% onto every attack or every enemy that hits with their AoE. So, say you hit one enemy, and then it crits, so 50% of that damage is going to be spread equally amongst the other 3 or however many enemies it is. So you're not going to be doing 50% of that damage to every enemy. It's 50% split up 3 times. Then you have Hail of Arrows. Attacks all enemies 3 times. Each critical hit heals this champion by 2.5%. So that's why you want 100% crit rate on this champion. As you can tell, all of her skills so far have had something to do with critical damage and critical hits affecting their ability in some way. As you can see, this ability is based on attack, and with it attacking 3 times and healing her, this is a great skill to be using for Giant Slayer. But really, this is the arena nuking ability that I was telling you about. This is what really is going to carry you from that bronze all the way up to gold if you have the right team compositions for her. And then we'll go to Lucky Shot. This is what makes her really good in some dungeons. Attacks one enemy. This attack fully depletes the turn meter, will ignore shield and block damage buffs. So this is really good for the arena because we know that there's a lot of utility. People will be putting shields up on their team or putting block damage up on their team. So we don't have anything with a cooldown up that gets rid of those buffs, such as a Madame Cerise. Then this is fantastic for clearing through those buffed allies. It also fully depletes the turn meter, so that way for something like some of the dungeons where you want to deplete the turn meter, this is going to work really, really wonderfully. So now, let's take her into the arena, and I'm going to kind of show you some of the team compositions I work her with and how I nuke the arena. So as you can see here, I'm just Arena 1 in bronze, but that's simply because my defense team is just a bully right now. There was an arena tournament going on, so I had my defense character just as somebody really weak that's easily beatable, just to help everybody out to be able to get those arena tournaments done quicker. So let's see. Let's go through here. Maybe we'll have somebody. This one's kind of higher up there. Yep, 53 power, 63 power. So this one will be a good fight to kind of show off this ability. For my team composition, I like to go with my Warlord here in the first spot. That way I can get resist in the battlefield, just in case they have quicker turn battles than me. So that way my team could have the ability to resist any sort of poisons or stuns that they would be throwing off on me. Ideally, we'll be putting somebody with a speed aura here, but since I don't have anybody that has a good speed aura, I leave him with the resist in all battles. Then we're going to go with Madame Cerise. That way we can get rid of all their buffs, as well as decreasing their defense and attack, so that way when we get to it, Lua will be doing even more nuking damage. Then we have Seeker here. He goes before anybody else. He has the highest speed. That way we can get the turn meter up and also boost our attack percentage. So that way when we finally get to attacking, she's going to be hitting insanely hard. So let's stop talking and let me show you. Alrighty. So as you can see, my Seeker is faster than their team, but their team is a little bit faster than this team. So when I use this ability, they're all going to be able to go for it before anybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and try to taunt this girl. Not that it really matters. Now we're going to use decrease defense, decrease attack, and also get rid of that shield on him. It missed her because she resisted. Then we're going to use my Warlord for attacking all the enemies just to get their health down a little bit more. As you can see, he's also really strong, so it's going to do a lot of damage. But then we're going to use our A2 to attack all enemies, and this should nuke everybody and win as the dub. Almost. Just clear up with him, and boom. Easy as that. So with a good team composition, even if you don't have full legendaries, you're still going to be really able to just wipe out the arena easily. Let's see. Refresh. Is there anybody else? Looks like I'm not going to be able to show off with some intense arenas. You'll have seen in some of my other videos, my Warlord video, I believe, had it as well. Some PvP showing off the Warlord, but also had Lua in there as well. So that can kind of show how she will fight against stronger characters. Let's go ahead and throw it on auto so you can see how she plays out. Even though this is a weak team, it'll still be something to see. Wiped him out. So that's really how she performs in the arena, and that carries through all the way up to whatever stage or rank you're in. She's going to do as good as your gear will allow her to do. She's really, really gear dependent. Her skills are alright strength-wise without gear, but once you get some good gear on her, then she's really going to shine, and you're going to be really happy you have her. Now that I have shown you something in the arena, let me show you how she does in the campaign, and then a little bit in the dungeons, and then that I think will be a video. Now, I don't think she's going to be able to finish it by herself, just because I don't have her geared just to the teeth yet, like I do my Fellhound for campaign. She is more of the arena, and then, like I said, you saw her gear. She's not the best geared, but let's see what she can do in the arena despite that. I'm sorry, in the campaign despite that. If I had lifesteal gear on her, she would probably do a lot better. But since I don't have lifesteal gear, she might not be hitting as strong as she could be. Or surviving as long, I should say. Now her A2 does have that heal, but I don't think it's enough to be able to survive the Malin lightning. That's always going to be an issue. Yeah. So with a good lifesteal gear set, she would be a really good campaign clearer if you don't have a good campaign farmer. But without it, she's kind of mediocre. Um, she hits really strong with her A3, so it can usually one-shot anybody else. But with how squishy she's not going to be the best campaign farmer. She's more of a nuker, and you're going to want to build her that way. Really, the one that she works best in, to me, is Magic Keep, because as soon as that shield is about to be coming back up, you can deplete the turn meter, and it gives you another chance to get something that will prevent her from getting a shield up. And I suppose the same thing can be said here for for the green spirit altar. Let's see. I'll just throw it in here and throw it on auto and let you see it play out. Okay, so for Spirit Keep, I like to have my Skull Crusher for the counterattack and the heal reduction. My Madame Cerise is just like the arena. I have her for the decreased defense and decreased attack, as well as remove all buff from all allies. Then I have my Warlord here to prevent all debuffs, gives me a shield, and also increase the duration of all debuffs on the enemy with his A1, which is good to prevent the healing with his Skull Crusher's 50% to 100% heal reduction. Then we have Steel Skull here. He's a poisoner, one of the best poisoners in the game, especially once you get him booked out and 60'd up, which he's almost to 60. So that's going to be doing a lot of good damage onto the dungeon boss. And then finally we have Lua for her A3 to be able to deplete her turn meter completely, so that way she's getting less heals off, as well as her A2 and her A1 to help clear the stages, or the wave 1 and wave 2, so we can get to the boss quicker. So that's kind of my thinking of my team here. While I have some free time here, I guess I'm going to go ahead and plug my stream. I've been streaming about every other day, especially a lot on the weekends. I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then every other day throughout the week. If you guys like that kind of thing, I would love to come see you guys in the chat. I'll put the link to the stream in the comments down below, and I'll also put it in the description. So, one game that I stream a lot that I have not been uploading videos of is Epic 7. I also was playing Mordhau, Halo Reach, and a couple other games today with my friends, so that's something I've been having a lot of fun with. If that's kind of y'all's interest, I would love to see y'all there and have some fun in the chat. Like I said, I'll just leave it down below, and I'd love to see you guys there. But anyway, back to the game. As you can see, Warlord's keeping everybody alive. Skull Crusher is putting up his heal reduction and the AoE counterattack. Steel Skull is putting up poisons. And then Lua is depleting turn meter, as well as doing tons of damage to the boss. Right now, she's putting heals up because Skull Crusher has not put up his heal reduction, but it'll be up there soon. I'm going to go ahead and put it on fast forward through this part until we get to the end of the boss, so that way y'all can kind of just see what's going on, and y'all don't have to just sit here and wait for everything to happen. Nice, debuff blocked. Okay, so there you just saw the decrease the turn meter. That's what I was talking about, where it's going to make them take longer to get their turns up, but it didn't really matter here, obviously, as you can see, because she got her heals back up. But back to fast forward. Now it's finally doing what it's supposed to be doing. RNG was not on my side for a minute there, was it? Alrighty, that took far too long. As you can see, my average best time is 2:22. But something about that, my RNG was just way off and nothing was working how it was supposed to. But essentially, that's how it works. As you can see, Lua did the most damage out of anybody, had the most damage to her shield. Actually, no, I'm sorry, Skull Crusher was. But as you can see, Lua did do the most damage. With her decreased the turn meter, or fully depletes the target's turn meter. That helps a lot with preventing the heals on the Spirit Keep. But that's pretty much it for Lua. That's about everything I have to say for her. She's a great champion to get, especially for arena nuking. If you build her right with lifesteal gear and good crit, she would be fantastic for campaign farming, and she's also a wonderful asset to have in a lot of the dungeons. With this A2, it's great for clearing all the spiders on the spider boss, on the spider dungeon, but if you have a good spider team already, she's not really optimal for spiders. As you can see here, this is kind of what people say about her. Not very good for the clan boss, which I would agree. So as you can see, overall, she has only 2 that were under 4.5 stars, where everything else is above 4.5 stars. And this is what they recommend for the artifacts. But that was it for my Lua Champion Spotlight. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was very informative for you. And if it was, go ahead and leave the video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and tap the bell notification next to it so that way you can be notified every time I make a video. And then if you'd like, you can follow me on Twitch like I was talking about earlier and hit the follow button. You'll be notified every time I go live and you can see me right when the action starts. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Catalyst Gaming, signing out.